Here at home, since the pandemic, walking and biking around southern Minnesota grew in popularity. With this renewed demand, community leaders will meet this weekend to consider redesigning local roads. Region 9, Bike MN, and other state organizations have all partnered to host the first Southern Minnesota Active Transportation Summit. This summit will give local transportation professionals and the public economic research and strategies for redesigning streets. Anyone can attend to share any challenges they faced in regards to transportation. Organizers say public input is crucial as they will use that information to focus their efforts.
One of the misconceptions about bicycling in this area that we're really always fighting against is that the bike is a recreational tool. It's all that, but it's also people who commute to work. When you start to look at that population and really broaden our notion of who are our customers, you start to realize that, hey, if we had a good route between St. Peter and Mankato that people could bike, a lot more people could actually ride and feel safe.
The summit takes place this Friday and Saturday. Registration fee is $25, which includes a lunch. For more information on the summit, find this story on our website, KUIC.com.